And now I'll ask my good friend, you all know him, please welcome MP Aaron Gunn.
All right, thank you, Arpan, and thank you, Calgary. It is great to be here all the way from the newly Conservative-held riding of North Island Powell River. You know, people often ask me how we won these new ridings, how we made such historic gains in places like Hamilton and Windsor and Nanaimo. And from knocking on thousands of doors, I can tell you with some confidence that it's because today's Conservative Party is the party of Canadian workers, the party of people who build things, who get up early, who work hard, and who get things done, the party of tradespeople, of resource workers, and of those laying the groundwork for the future of Canada's prosperity and success. And for inspiration on building this, the next chapter of Canada's story, we need only look back to our proud and storied past. It was under this party, led by the father of Confederation, the great Sir John A. Macdonald, that the vision of this new nation was truly born. And that vision was from the Atlantic to the Pacific, through the Rockies, across the prairies, and over the Canadian Shield, brought together in 1867 and tied together for over 150 years with a ribbon of steel. A national railway that forms the spine of modern Canada and that runs through the very heart of right here in downtown Calgary to this very day. And a railway that we must always remember that the Liberals would have had us abandon to build feeder lines of dependency to the United States. Let us not forget that today, just as in 1867, it is the Conservative Party that is and always will be the defender of Canadian sovereignty, our national interest, and Canadian identity, and we will take no lectures from Liberals on what it means to be proud to be Canadian. And we will take no lectures, especially from those who only spontaneously rediscovered their patriotism and love for Canada just 15 months ago, right? Who spent the last 10 years deriding this country, tearing down statues, erasing our history, stigmatizing the flying of our national flag. These are the same people, remember, who wanted to cancel Canada Day, who took Terry Fox and Vimy Ridge out of our passport, and now they are claiming to be the true defenders of Canadian sovereignty and identity? I don't think so. Because instead of putting Canada first over the past 10 years, they have been putting their ideology first. And we've seen the consequences. Pipelines killed, mills closed, Canadian resources left in the ground, fishermen chased out of areas that they fished sustainably for more than 100 years. These are Canadian workers who have had their livelihoods, their careers, their ability to put food on the table to feed their families sacrificed by the Liberals and the NDP on the altar of their extreme ideology. You know, just last week, I spoke with some of these workers at the recently closed Atlee chip plant, just outside Port McNeill in my riding, the latest Canadians to lose their jobs thanks to Liberal and NDP policies. They were frustrated, they were angry, and I am too. For too long, these workers have been told their views, their jobs, their livelihoods don't matter, that they need to transition, to move on to something else, find a different job, while the government focuses on its quote-unquote real priorities, like renaming cities, streets, and towns, like handing out free drugs and keeping our oil in the ground. But it doesn't have to be this way. With Conservative leadership, Canada can realize its true potential just as John A. envisioned all those years ago. And you know the great thing is? You know what the great thing is for so much of this? Is that we don't need the government to step up in any particular way. We just need the government to get out of the way and give this country back to those who built it, the people. These are the people who get up every day, go to work, and do what needs to be done, who come home with sweat on their brow and dirt on their hands, who choose their careers not because they are easy, but because they are hard. I know Canadians are ready to do their part to build the next chapter of Canada's story, and I can tell you, as a Conservative MP, we are ready to do our part too. Now, some of you may have heard, especially those from British Columbia, that just over a month ago, I considered stepping down as a member of Parliament and joining the race to become the next leader of the BC Conservative Party and Premier of British Columbia. And to decline that opportunity was one of the most difficult decisions of my life. But after much reflection, I decided that the best place for me today is standing shoulder to shoulder with the next Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Poilievre, and to be a loud voice in Ottawa and to help Pierre on his nation-building mission. And that nation-building mission starts with getting government out of the way. It starts with building pipelines, mines, homes, and so much more to unleash the power of Canadian resources, Canadian ingenuity, and most importantly, the Canadian people to realize Canada's true potential, strong, sovereign, secure, and proud, and the wealthiest, most prosperous nation in the entire world. Thank you, Calgary. Thank you for having me.